Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, y'all. Here's my instrumentals. Oh, it's coming, man. It's Friday. How y'all doing? Where is my instrumental station? There we go. Alright, good morning, good morning, good morning. Alright, so I switched out one of the books that I had because I realized I hadn't actually finished that one. I had started reading it a couple of years ago. Man, my timelines are so bad. So bad. I have such a hard time putting things in the proper sequence from the last 4 years. Like, my life has just been that insane. We're going to continue with some of the romance readings right now for Valentine's Day. I'm going to go with McGreeve today. Switched it out. Now, this is Yulium's story. Yulium is a werewolf, and the border of their kingdom was on the border of also like this thing towards a realm that had succubus in it, right? And in this series, succubus are not genuine, they're not evil, they just, that's the energy they use, right? Anyway, when he's a child, he falls in love with a succubus, right? And he thinks she's his mate, and it turns out that she's just drugging him and all this other stuff. He goes crazy, his family goes and tries to confront them. He ends up getting his mother, his unborn sister, and then his dad ends up, you know, taking his own life because he loses his mate, the mother, and stuff like that, and he carries this with him, right? And then later on, he discovers that his true mate ends up being, of course, a succubus, right? A lot of these stories in the Kresley Cole series, and this is Kresley Cole's Immortals After Dark series, right? A lot of them are overcoming, one person's overcoming some sort of bias towards something or other, right? Ooh, I'm gonna go page 4. 4 of Cups. Sorry if that's loud on y'all. 4 of Cups at 4 minutes. Here we go. Taking 4. Oh man, here we go. Alright. Yeah, they're killing me with these, though. I am loving the responses, y'all. Keep them coming. I don't care if they're hidden in emails and stuff like that. This is great. I love that you guys are enjoying this. Alright. You come from one of the richest families in the land, the Sentinels. For God's sake, and still your father makes you work like a serf. Da believes it builds character, Will said, pulling his tunic over his head. The garment was tight, hugging his chest and arms, and he and his twin were both growing like weeds, too fast for their Herod seamstress at Connell. He gazed at his own reflection and ran his hand over his lean face. Still no whiskers, though. Ah, Douglas McReeve, the great Lord of Connaught, says it builds character. Your father is mistaken. Your character is already built, and finally, too. You are a man in your own right. I know I am a man, he averred while thinking. I might not be a man. I might not yet be a man. Nay, of course he was. Whenever Will and Roy quarreled, he compared that he was truly maturing a grown Lyke. Adults bickered, and they had concerns and cares that the young did not. Yet if he was grown, why couldn't he satisfy her? A flare of anger took him by surprise. If you have called to criticize my dad, you should do it you should do it the Lyke way to his face. As soon as the words left his mouth, he regretted them. Her species was made to love, never to fight. The idea of Roulet openly criticizing someone so much stronger was laughable. As if on cue, her gray eyes misted with tears, and she even cried prettily. You know I cannot do that. I could never show my face to them. They will kill me just for what I am. So this is him and the woman who ultimately leads to all those deaths that I just talked about, having this discussion. She's lured him into this cabin that she's hiding in. Right? Turns out Roulet later in the story was an evil succubi, and the reason she was in the Lyke land is because she was banished from the succubi land because she's an evil cunt. So part of my language, but we are reading dirty, trashy novels in here today. So, if you're sensitive, I'm sorry. I apologize. I speak with a lot of people from, like, Australia and stuff like that. It's not nearly as offensive over there. Alrighty. Also, I tagged this not for kids. Any one of my little parental advisory stickers like Tyler has. Let's see what we got going on with this story, right? And, you know, and I love, Liam becomes that big player, right? I think I talked about him yesterday too. I'm pretty sure I did. And I know you guys are like, how does she not know what she talked about in a video yesterday? Do you guys realize that I'll do entire videos and then just delete them? I don't know. Alright. And I think, really, I'm getting the strong vibe that, if you really think about it, a lot of people fell into this with the whole twin flame thing, right? A lot of people are so hung up on this pseudo-toxic freaking first relationship that they have because that's the most common storyline. Now, downcasted pride, admitting that you're wrong, right? They get very stuck on that storyline. And now if you are one of those people who are in the twin flame storyline, I do suggest that you go and check over, I gotta get my description set up again, to Mel from Golden Ray. It's Golden Ray Twin Flames, I believe is his channel. And Mel is the guy who does all the, I guess, lectures. I don't know what the hell you call them. There's videos over there. He passed away. But he explains the different types of that storyline, right? There is the classic one. Harmony, right? There's the classic storyline, and then there's other dynamic storylines, right? And I also like to point out that a lot of people on these journeys, this is not your first go-round here. This is not the first time you've played this game. So you have far more soul connections than you are even, probably even aware of, right? You have far more soul connections that you're even aware of. Because, I mean, think about it. Think about it. I mean, if you get really, really into it, go back hundreds of years and several lifetimes, right? you know, you fell in love with this person in your childhood. Well, when you grew up, you weren't allowed to marry them for whatever reason, right? You didn't have any say in that kind of stuff, right? You had to marry the proper person and blah, 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 blah. And now, even though this first person was your twin flame and blah, and you this, that, and the other thing, you think you never fell in love with the person that you were forced to live with for most of your life? You think you didn't make a soul connection? You think you're not going to recognize the love in their face and things like that when you see them in another lifetime? Does it mean that they're that same thing? No, it doesn't. Does it mean you can't be happy with them? No, it doesn't mean that either. I'm just saying, don't tie so much to one connection. Allow things to flow. When you lock in too hardly on something, that's how you cause chaos. That's how you cause destruction. That's how you cause rifts in your family and all that other stuff, right? And I'm getting a strong message too lately of shady females, just toxic shit feminine energy. I'm sorry, but that has been coming through really, really strong lately. Dealing with crying, dealing with what I call shit witches, right? Shit witches are people who hex and curse other people, right? I call them that because I don't know who was around a couple of years ago when there were people crapping in jars to make hexes. This is where the term shit witch comes from, right? That is fucking disgusting on so many levels. That is nasty. It is 2022. We have modern technology. We have all this other things. We are tapping into all types of telepathic abilities and things like that, remote viewing and all this other craziness. Can we just let the bodily fluid disgustingness from 500 something fucking years ago go now? That is nasty, nasty, nasty. Also, you nasty, nasty witches that are doing things like putting your bodily fluids in foods and stuff and trying to feed them to people, that is disgusting. What is wrong with you? If you know anybody doing that, get away from those people, all right? Get away from them. You don't want to be around when that karmic crap comes back on these people. Chick in this story gets her head cut off. You know, and I'm just telling everybody that this weekend. I'm like, look, unless you know the person and you trust the person, don't eat anything made by somebody else this weekend. Don't eat anything made by somebody else. Don't drink anything made by, unless you're like at a restaurant and you know a total stranger that has nothing to do with you. Just be mindful. Just be mindful. Ladies, if you're going on dates, don't trust your date. Especially if you don't know them. Don't trust them. Don't trust anybody, man. I'm not trying to be terrible about this, but I'm just saying it's a strong thing that's coming through right now. It is such a strong thing coming through right now. Is just be mindful. Don't drink too much. Be mindful of your drinks. If you don't know the person, if you're going on a date for the first time with someone that you don't really know, have a girlfriend hanging at the bar with you. You don't have to be with your date, but we all have someone, or you should have someone that'll be willing to at least go to where you're going and watch your person that you're going on this stranger you're going on a date with. I'm telling y'all, you gotta be safe. You gotta be safe. I'm not saying live in fear. I'm saying don't live like monsters don't exist, right? It's very specific this morning. Oi. Whew. Because there's a lot of people. It's got 444. There is a lot of people who use all this information from the twin flame community and the spiritual community, and they will use very specific terminology in order to rope you in, right? In order to rope you in. This is the narcissist's new game. What? There is no better way to trap an empath than to use that against them. What? Oh, we're so connected, right? Be mindful. Be mindful. Be careful, all right? And just keep your wits about you. I don't know why, and this is specifically for gentlemen. I got that end scene from, what the hell is that movie? Braveheart? No, it's not Braveheart, is it? With Mel Gibson, the end of the movie, she's trying to give him some medicine, something. I think it's opium. Actually, it's milk of the poppy. Before he goes to get executed, before he goes to get his guts and stuff cut out, and he refuses to take it, and he says that, and he's like, I got to keep my wits about me. I don't want to be, screaming. I don't want to ask for mercy. I don't want any of that. I need to be strong. I need to keep my wits about me. I'm not gonna take this. Strong message, y'all. Strong message. Just saying, that's what's coming out. All right, so definitely got somebody tuning into their power and their passions here, right? Definitely tapping into them, finding some balance. Like I said, true love never dies, right? If you genuinely love somebody, you will genuinely have a piece of you that will love them forever. That's just always how it goes. But at some point, you need to love yourself as much as you love these other people, and love yourself enough to know when it's over, when it's not going to work, when it's done, right? When you deserve true stability, right? And Drop Dead Beauty here with the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is usually very much that, see, this was this contemplation app that oh, that's hearts. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, harmony and marriage card. I'm losing my shit today. But with this deck, it's got that spider on it, right? The webs. And I got a Joker here at the end with the Ace of Swords, right? Yeah, I definitely get a vibe of this. This is something old on the 3D that's still playing out, something from the past. This true love never dies. Yet there's one person on this side, right? Tapping into their power, finding this stability, right? Trying to find this stability. And then you got the Joker here with the spider, right? And whenever I see the spider, I go, oh, what tangled webs we weave when first we decide to deceive, right? And I feel like this person was playing around, and they may have, they either omitted or they flat out lied about something, right? They were playing a game, kind of, right? They were playing this stability game, right? They were saying what they needed to say to try to create this connection, right? But this is, I'm definitely getting this as something old for both of these people. Both of these people are dealing with stuff from the past. They're still working through their shadow stuff, which is probably why this person fibbed, right? A lot of us, we weren't great in our past. And I say this too, right? It's so messed up because during your most developmental periods, right, is from 0 to 7. And it's funny because for most of us, you're a little bit younger when you have kids, right? You're in your 20s, You're not full grown already as it is. And then the universe hands you kids. And by the time you realize what you're doing, they're almost done with that 0 to 7 phase, right? So they've picked up a lot of the stuff that you were working on fixing on yourself. Well, now they have those same issues. They're this little mirrored monster of yourself that you have to now help deal with the same issues you just had to deal with in yourself, right? So I'm getting this kind of energy going on here. On the 4D, I definitely got someone's indecisive, someone's, I get someone's really trying to make the proper decisions here, right? They're trying to figure out what's illusion and what is true, right? With the 7 of Cups here. I like it in this deck because this person's not just that one deck. He's like up on the river and there's all these people throwing. In this one, it's like, what? I am pretty sure there's a snake under one of these cups. You know, which one is real? I get a which one is real energy here. You got the Two of Pentacles again. I get this as a separate energy. So this is a separate energy. This is someone who's disconnected because they don't know what's real, right? And then you've got this other energy with the Two of Pentacles again, right? This person's balancing between spirituality and the physical, right? They're dealing with balancing what's happening on the 5D areas and then what's happening on the 3D areas. And they're trying to bring this into some sort of balance, right? Right? Some sort of sense here. And they can't let either of it go because this is also the Wands thing. I think it's funny too. I took baton twirling when I was younger. I never did anything normal. I took baton twirling and I did kick line instead of cheerleading. Very strange things to take. But I get that's kind of the thing. What? They're practicing. It's a practice. It's a what? How am I going to keep the 5D from affecting the 3D so much, right? Because you can't stay in that energy, right? Ace of Cups. So this person's definitely trying to move from a center of love, right? Trying to help, trying to be in that center of love, right? And they're trying to do what is right from that center of love. But I feel like this person is very, very burdened by a lot of things that are going on, right? I feel like the 4D, 5D for this person is extremely burdensome, right? It's extremely burdensome. And I think this person needs to learn how to accept help and what to move on from. This is the 10 of Wands card in this deck. Oh, she's got my suitcase. See, and this is how I read the imagery, right? So this is where I'm picking this up, right? This person is very burdened by the 4D, 5D connections, right? They feel like they are carrying a lot, right? You need to allow spirit to carry a lot of this for you, right? You don't need to carry everybody's baggage, right? There's a lot of moving on that needs to be done. A lot of moving on that needs to be done. I've got the 3 wands back here that are lit up like torches, right? And the 3 of wands is all preparation, foresight, and intuition. You need to use your intuition and your foresight and prepare yourself for things that you know are coming. Or, like I said, if you understand that you're tied into these connections, be prepared for what they bring to you, right? I guess we'll get the message here. Definitely for the 4D and for people who are learning how to balance their emotions and things like that. Be mindful of people who know exactly what your triggers are. Be mindful of people who know exactly what your triggers are, right? If there are people out there that know for a fact that something they did is something that's hugely traumatic to you, they don't feel like it's traumatic. They feel like you're dramatic for that being traumatic, right? But so what they'll do is whenever there's someone new around, they'll bring it up, but they'll bring it up in the ha ha ha, isn't that funny? Knowing that in your mind, that's not funny, dude. That's not funny. That's something that hurt me terribly. And you're bringing it up on purpose to try and get me to wig out a character in front of another person because you want me to scare them away. You know what I'm saying here? Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that, right? This person's paying attention. This person's paying attention. They know more than they say they know. They're aware of more than what they say they're aware of. They're tapped into the 4D as well. They're aware. They're more aware than you think they are. They themselves, because this is a higher frequency that they're picking up on, they're playing the same game you are. What is genuine? What is real, right? This person who's doing things like that, saying things on purpose, trying to trigger you, they know. They're aware. You know what I'm saying? So this other person's picking up on that too. They're like, it's a weird energy, right? Just be mindful of that. A lot of weird energy going on. All right. We got the Page of Swords here, and this is where it's coming into, right? This is the 5D going on here, y'all. This is what the 5D has to say. Be mindful. Be mindful of what you're imbibing here. We got the mushrooms again, right? The Page of Swords. Page of Swords can be over-opinionated. They're very curious, but they can be over-opinionated, and they can jump to the wrong conclusions. They can also say the wrong things, right? So just be mindful of those energies. Like I said, keep your wits about you, right? Be genuinely who you are. What a lot of people are like, I need to drink in order to relax. No, you need to drink in order to turn yourself into somebody you're not. Oh, I'm going to say it again. What, you need to take something in order to be something you're not? Be who you are. What? Be awkward and weird. You're supposed to be awkward and weird with new people. That's normal behavior. What's not normal is sleeping with somebody you don't know. I'm sorry, y'all aren't going to convince me otherwise, right? Even in my trashy books, nobody's doing that. That's not true love stories. Don't work like that. All right. We got the 5 of Wands, and this is the other thing too, right? There you go. There's the conflict card, right? So it's being mindful of your words. Don't allow someone to trigger you into saying things that either saying things that you don't mean or to get you into those toxic headspaces, right? You don't have to engage in the fight if you don't want to, but this is definitely an energy of someone who is doing shit just to cause shit, and everybody's involved. Everybody's watching what these guys are watching. The kids are watching. You got the Meisterburger here. You got the Jester over here, right? And you got the 2 kids at the bottom. Everybody's watching what's going on here. And all these sticks, right? Nobody's even hitting each other because you can't swing the sticks. They're all tied and stuck together there, right? They're all wrapped up in each other. Just poking and pulling and prodding at each other. Poking and pulling and prodding at each other, right? And there's a difference. I got a big energy of be more defensive than offensive, right? Don't be the one that's swinging. Be the one who's just blocking them out, you know, wax on, wax off. Or it's this way. I don't know. I didn't take karate. Took gymnastics. I was really good at the uneven bar and the balance beam. All right, we got strength. Leo season, what is the year of the lion going on right now? It's not Leo season. Leo season's not till the summer. I'm losing my mind. But this is definitely tapping into strength. I love that you got the health card here. I'm going to put this down, right? This is, look, and she's holding the there's 80 people, right? She's holding his tail. Get the tiger by the tail, y'all. Get the tiger by the tail. Get control of what's going on, right? Get control. First of all, get control of yourself. That's the first big step, right? Grab the tiger by the tail. And that's that inner thing in you that gets you to do shit that you know you're not supposed to be doing. Grab the tiger by the tail, right? Focus on your health. That's the health card here, right? That builds strength too. The healthier your vessel is, the stronger you are to control this, right? Why? Because your mind is healthier. Everything's interconnected. And the 3D is important. Like a lot of people get so obsessed with the 5D, 4D, 5D things, but the 3D is important. If you're not healthy, if you're not stable, if you're not in a good space on the 3D, you're never going to be able to maintain 5D energies, right? You're not going to come into this until you get that tiger by the tail, right? Because you're not going to draw in that other person who's matching that frequency either. How happy everybody is here. Look at just, look at just the sheer dynamics. What? Chaos, everybody's fighting. Why? Because these little people mirror the energies of the adults around them, right? But if you get the tiger by the tail, you get your health under control, you get all that good jazz going on, like my daughter wants to do a 30-day vegan challenge again. Da-da-da-da-da. What? Look how happy everybody is. Right? Now we had the Eight of Cauldrons, Eight of Cups up right at the bottom, right? True love never dies, right? And now we got the Eight of Cauldrons reversed here. And I'm not really picking this up as so much of an energy that needs to be moved on from. I'm getting very much because you have the Three of Cups here on the trail, kind of like the Three of Wands on the other one, right? The Three of Cups here on the trail. What? These are people who used to be very close to you. These are loves that have never died, right? These are true love never died. I'm getting a strong sense of family here, right? Or family members, people around you and things like that. And it's like, okay, yeah, they're gossipy. Yeah, whatever reason. They're toxic this way. They're toxic that way. They're toxic whatever, right? You can't celebrate all alone is the energy that I'm getting, right? If you want the Three of Cups to go along with the Ten of Cups, right? And I'm going to say this too. Look at this. They're holding 3 cups and the rest are on the ground, right? You want to come into these celebrations. You can't just cut everybody out. You got to find a way to reconnect, right? Not saying don't forget the past. Like I said, be mindful of people who know your triggers and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm picking up a lot of energy about kids are more important. Kids are more important. All right, we got Downcasted Pride, 20. And I had somebody ask me before why I was reading the books, and it's just the author, the people who created these decks put so much energy into it that I don't want you to miss an important part of the message because I forgot a sentence. You know what I'm saying? It's so, synchronicities and things that hit people are so specific, right? You got to be, yeah, well, mindful of that. All right, so we got Downcasted Pride here. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The visual seed here. The eyes, dark with dried blood tears, look downwards towards the face of a dark-skinned, beautiful elf. Sorry, I can't help but look at the card. With golden laurels among her hair, she is stern and motionless, roots plunged into her body from a golden collar. The sky behind her is gray as concrete. The sentence here is, the root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. The interpretation for this card is, survival is direct consequences of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather the mockery of it. We strip day by day, as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with the world, what would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through the hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, our fear, and our disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded. We think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't that sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. Oh, I like that. The habit of bending becomes the habit of bending. I say that a lot too. Sometimes avoiding conflict, sometimes you have to have the conflict, right? How did you get stuck in this position? It reminded me of very much how he's stuck with that evil woman right in the beginning of the book. How did you find yourself in this position? It didn't happen fast, right? What? Oh, they came in love bombing, didn't they? They came in love bombing. They came in as the fairy tale. They came in whatever, and then slowly over time they pick apart certain things of you and things like that, and you overlook it. What? I'd rather peace than conflict. I'd rather peace than conflict. I'd rather peace than conflict. And then the next thing you know, what? You are nowhere near what you used to be. You're a completely different person, right? And you're not a happy person. You're not a happy person. Why? Because deep down in the core of you, you know that's not right, right? You want true harmony, right? And I love the harmony card. So my definition of this card, and we're going to read the real one here in a second, is finding people that you play music well. I have a huge theme on music. What? You have to be able to like each other's music. You have to. And if you don't, you're not on the same frequency. You're just not. You're just not, right? You can't be playing music in a group and then somebody comes in and they're like, we're not going to play that music. I want to play my own. And they're playing something ridiculous over your stuff, over what everybody else is playing. And it throws off the tempo and the beat, and they don't know what rhythm you're on and things like that. And it just messes. That's not harmony. You got to be able to harmonize. You got to be able to meld in with the other characters, right? All right. 107. All right. Music. What would life be without it? It's not something that we humans invented. Rather, music has been around since time began. Subtle and dramatic textures of sound have existed as long as there has been beings that could hear them. For our ancient ancestors, paying close attention to sounds, rhythms, and vibrations from the environment helped us survive. Of course, it has also been compelling for humanity to create music through our own voice and musical instruments. As we evolve, so have the instruments we have created, some of which when played mimic the music of the natural world, where there's more than one instrument played or two or more people singing. The result of the harmonies blend into one unified sound that is pleasing to hear. If the notes are out of sync, there's a noticeable dissonance that can be disturbing. Here we see two women with stringed instruments creating a harmonious blend. They're so absorbed in their playing that they appear to be in a trance, and if they're simply allowing the music to flow through them. Not far from what I said, right? This is a time of considerable harmony for you. One where the various elements in your life are flowing together smoothly, just as in musical harmony. It is the interface of these elements that merge into a cycle of symmetry and balance that invokes the feelings of harmony. The challenge is to sustain the inner accord even when there is considerable dissonance outside of your own mind, heart, and body. Note the sensations, emotions, and thoughts you experience when everything seems to be moving along well. Take 3 deep breaths and let your breathing be the anchor that reminds you of this state of consciousness. Whenever you perceive chaos around you, know that it is a mirror of your own inner turmoil. When you recognize this, take 3 more deep breaths to bring forth the memory of those moments when your life was like a symphony. Then every time you exhale, you are releasing the energy of your internal state of harmony into the world, and it will have an amazing effect. All right, so this is just, like I said, it's a strong message of when you find yourself in, where'd you go? When you find yourself having those little things pulled up from the past with these people, right, that could cause conflict, you want to stop, take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to envision in your mind the last time you and these people were just hanging out and having fun. Right? Before you guys started tuning into everybody's energy, before you became hypervigilant, before you became these super sensitive beings of empaths and everything else like that. Just remember what it was like. Yeah. Just remember what it was like when it was in a time of peace and harmony, right? Take 3 deep breaths and center yourself in that energy, right? There's always this thing of, you see these memes floating around, it's just like, what? How did it go? It's a how are we going to act today? Let's see what you're going to do, and then we'll see how we're going to act today, right? Why allow them to determine how you're going to act today, right? Why allow them to determine how you're going? If you are the true powerful being that you think you are, if you are as aware as you think you are, if you truly are all these things that you say you are and believe that you are, and you truly have faith in all this, then you are the one determining the energy around you. So if it's shitty, you can fix it. And this is not about avoiding the conflict. This is about taking the power and being the conductor of the energy around you. I got the 5 of Swords here. Ooh, 3 of Swords here. And 2 of Swords here. Alright. I don't know why, but I got the 5 of Swords here, and I've been on the Alice in Wonderland kick lately, and I got the Painting the Roses Red. Right? The Queen of Hearts. Right? Painting the roses red. She's pissed off because her roses are white and she wanted red roses for her stuff. And off with his head! And she's a lunatic. She's fucking crazy fucking narcissist, right? She's bossing everybody around, everything else like that. Did Alice argue with her? Did Alice yell? Did Alice fight? Did Alice do any of that? No, she didn't, did she? No, she didn't, did she? Alright, let's see. Do we have a 352? We do. Whew. Oh my goodness, y'all. Alright. So you got the 3 of Swords here. So I'm definitely getting, and I'm getting the energy of, it's not, cheaters that you have to worry about, right? Whatever this is, it's not that type of third-party situation. I always say a third-party situation is where someone is outside influencing a connection. And I definitely get the sense of someone like the Queen of Hearts, paint the roses red, blah, blah, type of person is trying to cause conflict, and they're trying to influence a decision here, right? 3 of Swords. They're trying to influence a decision here. Could be around religion with that cross there too. They could try to use that as something, right? The 5 of Swords here. The rose. That's why I said paint the roses red, because it was a white rose. Right? Every rose has its thorns. Oh, there's a message that's coming through. God, I fucking hate that song. Another thing with the religion here, right? With the vows. The 2 of Swords. There's definitely a decision that needs to be made, and these are the influences on it. Alright, so. Oh my god. And remember, we start out with this. Alright, so Chloe is she's was a young woman. She was raised by this man who runs the Order, which is one that is designed for, the Order is this group of humans that want to eradicate all immortals, right? And somehow he ended up with a succubi daughter, right? And she turned at the beginning of the book. Alright. Chloe hadn't understood at the time, and more, she hadn't given a damn what McGreeve needed. Now she was starting to read between the lines. Moreau wanted Chloe to continue being an anti-succubus to show McGreeve how different she was. As she dressed in new gear, shorts, a jogging bra, running shoes, she decided that she'd play this day by ear, reading McGreeve's cues as if he were a tricksy fallback. She's a soccer player. While keeping the trophy in sight, she pulled her hair up in a ponytail and then hurried down the stairs. When he raked his gaze upon Jesus. All right. Here we go. When he raked his gaze over her, his irises flickered. "What's wrong?" he growled. "Red?" Yes, her shorts and her bra were red. So? Seeming to give himself a shake, he said, "Everything fits," but his voice was rougher. "Like a glove. It's nice having my own stuff again." He scowled, rubbing his palm on the back of his neck. "You'll have more. We'll head to the city soon, and I'll buy you new. Anything you want." She blinked at him. "Did you not see that hall up there? I've got everything that I need." A deeper scowl. "Way to take cues there, Chloe." So the guy needed to buy her stuff. "I could use a watch, though, eh?" he said quickly. "And an iPad, and a soccer ball." "Done." Mood obviously improved, he said. "If you vow you will not weaponize them later." "My stones were singing for hours after your last shot." Oh, she kicked him in the balls at one point. "If you promise you will not weaponize them later." Oh my God. "Then don't say things that make me want to cleat you in the face." Now she understood why he had. Didn't mean she ever let him get away with trash talking. "A fate to be avoided. I've seen you cleat someone in the face, and that was before you turned immortal." He pointed to her shoes. You will no need those. The importance of the arch support can be The importance of arch support can't be overstated. "And what if I cut myself?" "You're no human, Chloe. There's no need for anything support. Hell, you could go without your bra." She quirked her brow. "So that's a solid nay on the bra removal then." He sighed as if he just missed the goal. "Very well. As for cutting your foot, you'd heal nigh instantaneously." He seized one of her hips, dragging her close. "Today I plan to show you our lands and what you're capable of." "Cue taken, McReeve." She gazed up at him. "And then hold on to your ass, because Chloe's about to lower the boom." Lord almighty, y'all. You guys just have no idea. Just have no idea what's going on. All right. Oh. One final oracle card, and then we're going to roll on out. I can't help myself. This shit is so funny to me. It's so funny to me. I hope these things are hitting y'all too. I mean, I know it is because you guys are responding pretty well to these, but I'm finding them absolutely hysterical. Oh, here we go. Sly. Oh, Sly. The ferret. Look up the ferret. The ferret is not a weaselly in the symbolism in the animal world. The ferret and the weasels are not considered bad creatures, right? They're considered industrious and clever and smart, and they figure out things, right? And they pay attention to things, right? Look it up. Look it up. Look up the symbolism for ferrets and weasels and things like that, right? Definitely, definitely. So I definitely get the vibe, right? One, I said watch out for things like, you know, watch out for evil succubi. But then at the same time, don't just assume because somebody's acting a little weaselly that they're actually a weasel. They might just be paying attention for good purposes. You never know. They might be paying attention for good purposes. All right. Oh my God. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and whiny paths with me. I love you guys. Oh, yes. After Valentine's Day, I'm going to be shifting out of just the romance novels into other regular books. I've got so many books. I am enjoying this, so as long as you guys keep responding and keep liking them, like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz for whatever. And, yeah. Love you. I'll be back as soon as I can, I promise.